So, good day everyone. Again, we are the Group 6 from Visayas 3A, and today we will continue to present to you our research entitled The Influences of Ethical Leadership, Shaping Workplace Culture and Enhancing Organizational Trust. Meet the team behind this research. I'm Shane Bartolome together with Ms. Pauline Santos and Mr. Daniel Tomas.
A pleasant day everyone, I am Pauline Santos and I will be discussing this chapter 4 titled The Discussion, wherein the researcher will discuss and analyze the findings of our research and how the researcher interprets and summarizes the data or informations na nanggaling sa iba't ibang chapters o sa mga naunang chapters ng aming study. So, our study has concluded that ethical leadership plays a vital role in influencing organizational culture and employees' overall performance. So, an ethical leader that fosters accountability, integrity, and honesty can cultivate a positive, healthy, and harmonious environment within an organization, which in turn naman can boost employees' trust and confidence in leaders. By showing them what an ethical leader is by being accountable to every actions and decisions, employees can adopt it. This study also shows how ethical principles contribute to principle-based decision-making, which in turn can enhance organizational performance, stakeholders' confidence, and strengthen their reputations, leading to long-term sustainability ng isang organization. So in addition, it is important to recognize the effects of ethical leaderships are not limited to internal stakeholders, so positively influencing customers, suppliers, and the wider community. Organizations that are guided by ethical leaders demonstrate enhanced resilience and sustain long-term success, particularly na when facing unethical dilemmas or mga challenges sa isang organization. So additionally, ethical leadership can reduce workplace conflict and increase employee satisfaction. So furthermore, the presented data show how leaders promote ethical principles within the organization through consistently demonstrating ethical behavior, showcasing transparent communication, exhibiting firm confidence, integrating strong ethical values, and nurturing a strong sense of accountability and trust among employees. The qualities and behavior mentioned are one of the key drivers for ethical leaders or leaders to have a strong and principle-based decision-making that contributes to enhancing shareholders' trust, confidence, employees' performance, strengthening their communications, and optimizing organizational efficiency. Moreover, to consistently uphold ethical leadership in the organizations, a transformational leadership style was introduced by the study. This leadership style will be a strategy for implementing ethical leadership sa isang organization. Ang isang transformational leadership highlight visionary leaders that motivate their employees' personal growth and maximize their full potentials that are directly aligned to organizational visions and missions. Once it is implemented, the leaders will influence its employee by embodying ethical behaviors and principles, promoting a great leader to follow, openly communicating with them, and integrating individual goals with leaders, which leaders can align to organization's visions. And in addition, this encourage employees to be creative, innovative, and cultivating a collaborative environment. So this study aims to build a leader that are grounded by ethical principles and acknowledging individuals' creativity, driving them for long-term sustainability. So this approach goes beyond simply compliance, focusing on inspiring and empowering employees. It is also important to acknowledge that the impact of ethical leadership may vary across industries and cultures. Ang isang organizations must regularly assess their ethical culture and practices and make adjustment if necessary or needed, supported by clear organizational policies and codes of conduct.
So, blessed day everyone. I'm Shane Bartolome and let me discuss to you the continuation of Chapter 4 discussion that falls out in recommendations. So, we have several recommendations for current or aspiring leaders, organizations, society, and future leaders based on the conclusion and data presented in our study. So, first recommendation is future research should investigate how ethical leadership affects overall societal well-being. So this includes exploring its influence on community trust, social responsibility, and adherence to laws and moral principles. So we suggest that future studies should look into how ethical leadership affects the overall well-being ng isang society. So this includes seeing how it influences trust in communities, acting responsibly as a society, and following laws and moral principles and standards. So second recommendation is organization should promote and enhance transformational leadership at it is identified as a strategic approach within this study. So this will help the development of decision makers and visionary leaders who are both emotionally and mentally intelligent. So organization should work on promoting and improving transformational leadership. As our study shows, it is very helpful to way to lead. So this will help develop leaders who can make good decisions and have a clear vision along with being emotionally and mentally sharp. So for the continuation of the recommendation, we're here now in the third recommendation. So organization should create and actively use detailed ethical guidelines. So to ensure that everyone understand the required ethical standards. So these rules and guidelines should clearly define expected behaviors and decision-making procedure. So organizations should create and actively use clear rules and codes about what is ethical, what is the right, what is the wrong, why. So to make sure everyone knows what is expected ethically. So this rule should be clearly explain how people should act and make decisions and actions. So ensuring a shared understanding of ethical standards. So for the fourth recommendation, so organization should cultivate an environment where employees are secured and encouraged to report those unethical behavior without fear, and to strengthen the ethical oversight and accountability. So here in this recommendation, organization must build and create an environment where employees feel safe and confident, and they are encouraged to report those unethical actions they witness without being afraid of getting in trouble with other employees, possible or executive, or affect his or her position in the organization. So this environment will make ethical oversight and responsibility stronger. So for the last recommendation of the study, of our study, is to cultivate principled, visionary, and emotionally intelligent leaders. So organizations are encouraged to implement comprehensive training programs which is focusing on the principle and practices of transformational leadership. So to help create leaders who are principled, have a vision, and are emotionally intelligent. So organization must put in a place detailed training programs focusing on the ideas and practices of transformational leadership. So this strategic investment will serve to develop leaders characterized by strong ethical principle, visionary capacity, and a robust emotional intelligence. And now, to bring it all together and provide the crucial overview of our findings, I'd like to introduce Mr. Daniel Tomas, who will present the executive summary of this study. Mr. Daniel Tomas, the presentation and discussion are all yours now.
So, good day everyone, ito Ma'am Mel. In this chapter, I'll present the executive summary of our study, which focuses on the role of ethical leadership in shaping workplace culture and enhancing organizational trust. This summary will define the key findings, practical implications, and future research directions, emphasizing that ethical leadership is not only essential for organizational success, but also for promoting broader social responsibility. So to begin, this study emphasizes the foundational role of ethical leadership that plays in shaping the work environment. Ethical leadership fosters a workplace culture of respect, accountability, and open communication, leading to higher trust among employees and management. So when leaders show ethical behavior, they create a culture where employees feel safe, respected, and heard. This builds trust within the team and between the staff and management. which will strengthen teamwork and drives overall productivity. So in this study, the researchers found that ethical leadership significantly contributes to creating a positive and healthy work environment. Leaders who act with integrity and transparency set an example that encourages mutual respect and accountability within the team. So this kind of leadership promotes honest communication and openness, allowing employees to feel heard and valued. So as a result, trust is built not only among colleagues but also between employees and management, which is crucial for effective collaboration and long-term organizational success. Next, the researchers explore how transformational leadership supports and deepens ethical behavior in organizations. Transformational leadership plays a key role by aligning employees' values with organizational goals and encouraging ethical behavior and responsible decision-making. These leaders inspire employees para ma-adapt yung values ng isang organization as their own, motivating them to act with integrity. So by doing so, transformational leadership helps set ethical conduct into daily operations, ensuring yung mga decisions is guided by both professional standards and personal values. So as for that, transformational leadership emerged as a key component in promoting ethics within the organization. These leaders go beyond routine management, like they inspire and motivate employees by aligning individual values with the organization's missions and goals. So this alignment, hindi lang nito binuboost yung morale and engagement but also reinforces ethical behavior. So by encouraging employees to think about the bigger picture and the impact of their decisions. Transformational leaders help create a culture where responsible and values-driven decision-making becomes the norm. So the study draws on quantitative data from existing sources to back up these ideas. So data from secondary sources show a strong link between ethical leadership and employees' perception of fairness, trust, and community, but also highlight inconsistencies in applying ethical standards across organizations. So while many employees associate with ethical leadership with fairness and strong team dynamics, hindi lahat is consistently na-apply yung mga principles na yun. So this inconsistency signals a need for regular evaluation and training to maintain ethical standards throughout the company. So the data that the researchers analyzed, which came from credible secondary sources, it consistently showed that employees perceive ethical leaders as fair and trustworthy. So this perception enhances team unity and improves the overall workplace atmosphere. However, the research also uncovered some inconsistencies. While yung ibang organization is na fully embrace yung ethical standards, so others struggles with applying them consistently. This points to a need for evaluation, training, and reinforcement of ethical values to ensure they are upheld across all levels of the organization. So finally, the researchers examined the broader outcomes of ethical leadership beyond the internal structure of a company. Ethical leadership strengthens organizational performance and external reputation, suggesting a broader societal benefit through community trust and social responsibility. When organizations are led ethically, they tend to gain the trust of not just employees but also yung mga external stakeholders like customers and investors. So this boosts their public image and contributes to social responsibility, making ethical leadership a key factor in long-term success and community impact. So the study highlights that ethical leadership doesn't just benefit the internal workplace. It also positively affects how the organization is seen by the public. Companies led ethically are more likely to gain the trust of customers, investors, and the wider community. This strong reputation supports long-term success and sustainability. So as that, ethical leadership contributes to social responsibility by encouraging practices that are not only good for business but also beneficial for society. It shows that doing the right thing can lead to both financial and social rewards. So that concludes the final part of our presentation covering chapters 4 and 5 of our research entitled The Influences of Ethical Leadership Shaping Workplace Culture and Enhancing Organizational Trust. On behalf of my group mates, Ms. Shane Bartolome and Ms. Pauline Santos, and I am Daniel Tomas, thank you for listening to us.